We are live with Harrowings podcast, and the everyday junglist is walking the dogs down to the beach. Or are you coming back?
No, no, not to the beach. I'm just going to a little park here. That's also it's sort of adjacent to the beach, but it's like further north. It's just a real
And we
small
have no
park. But
idea what we're doing here right now, but he's going to tell us. I
no,
think.
I can't
Rose
remember
is
why I
here, by
asked
the
why I said I
way.
wanted to do this.
Pam
Why did I
Ray.
want to? I had an
Oh, we just
idea.
got you.
Why? Yeah, I can't remember why I wanted to have it to do this with you, but I had an idea of something I wanted to talk about, and now it's completely slipped my mind. Hal.
Well, that's
All
all
right,
right. We can talk about
it'll come back to
bacterial
me.
infections and all the terrible things
Man.
that this
Oh,
this painless
you know.
flesh-eating bacteria. What the hell?
Yeah, yeah, that thing sucks. But I
Tell
have
me
something
about
else I wanted to talk about.
it.
But
Okay.
before we get into that,
Okay.
so I gotta say a story because it just happened to me, and which is why I was actually running a little bit late to this because I went. So if you are, if you're mean to immigrants ever, stop right now doing it because
Don't be
it's
mean to
horrible.
immigrants, folks.
Because dude, when you are one, it's just like anything. Walk a mile with someone. It's such a cliche thing to say, but man, I can tell you the immigrant experience really sucks sometimes when people are not when they're anti-immigrant. So I was taking my a cat to the vet for a follow-up thing, and the vets here are usually very, very good. The one we have is really good. This is the one that we don't use very often, and it's kind of a special circumstance. And the woman, the vet, was just an absolute. Clearly, she was a bigot, basically. And
Hmm.
it was so uncomfortable. I was like, she was attacking me over, I mean, like, everything, and kind of basically making fun of me, and
Ooh,
I was really
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then she gives me this quote for what it's going to cost, and it's like 5 times what any other vet in the area charges, and I know that, and I'm like, so I had to walk out, and I don't know, man, it was just very uncomfortable. I've only had it happen a couple times since I've been here. This is
Mm.
probably one of the worst, if not the worst, and I have unfortunately noticed more of it recently, and maybe it has to do with the political tensions or whatnot, but yeah, it really sucks because my Spanish is not good, and so of course she's gonna attack me on that, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna
So
live
it
to
makes it
learn the
hard.
language, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying. I've been trying. Well, I guess I've been trying that hard, but,
It's
but
not
yeah. I mean,
really
so she, she's right. She's right. I should learn the language, sure, okay, and I'm trying. I'd like to, but that's not a reason that if you don't know the language to go off on someone and attack them in a
mm,
way that was just way out of line and just it was very uncomfortable. And anyways, I felt ambushed and I felt set up and attacked, and I really did not like it. And when it happened, it just really makes me think, man, how bad it must be for some immigrants, at least in the U.S. If that happens everywhere they go, I would never leave my house. I would just stay at home. I would never go anywhere. That's how bad. Because it was so bad that made me not want to go anywhere. I'm never going back to that place, to that vet, that's for sure. But
it's kind of
I
a
don't know.
constant. We're always running into people who don't like us for one reason or
Yeah,
another. And sometimes it's,
right.
if you've met me and dealt with me very much, there are good reasons not to like me. Even though you think I'm the nicest man
Right.
on Substack, I'm not sure what
Right.
this is about the rest of Substack. But I actually had
Yeah.
a situation happen recently. It was very uncomfortable. And it was with a guy I had been friendly with for a long time. And
Was
I
it
thought
on
we
the
would
on the
be.
live on like on a podcast or just like in writing?
No, in real life. And I came up to
On
a
real life.
table
Okay.
in a cafe where he was talking to another very good friend of mine, I think, who I usually walk with and talk with. My friend Jack, who was at Woodstock, he's at that age, a
Another
retired
hippie. Okay.
architect, and kind
Very
of a
hippie
cool
friends.
guy. He's a good raconteur, he can talk a
Yeah.
blue streak. He talks more than me. That's it.
Right.
So anyway, went up to talk to Jack and saw Brian there too, and I knew Brian was not warm to me lately because he had basically told me off in a way
For what?
via text after
Why?
I
What'd you
said,
do?
after one of our little walk and talks we've done many, many of. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, I think you're really being this way. And I was like, okay, well, I can help you with that. I can cauterize this relationship right here. Because I tend to do that. I have a bad habit.
Yeah.
And then I kind
Yeah.
of regretted it after a while. And I thought this day, well, I'll just be kind of cool with this guy. Man, he was not having it. He had his
He
back.
was not having, huh? He had not forgot. He'd not forgotten your comment.
Well, he had said in the interim I had gotten texts from him like, "I miss you," and I was like, "I've been ignoring
Oh.
those," but now I
Ah.
was willing to forgive and forget. So
I
when I
see.
texted him back after he sort of
He was not though.
gave me the snub in the cafe, I texted him back, and he texted me back this very passive aggressive horseshit. I was like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
that's too bad." But then again, I was like, "That's where he is." And you know what I try to use? I call it the Mister Rogers method, right? I like you just the way you are.
Uh-huh.
That's why we can get along.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's
people always talk shit about how women are so cruel and women do all this shit to other women, but guys do it to other guys and shit too. It's the same kind of mind games people play
it's
with
something
each
that
other.
Mitch Horowitz has been talking about on Substack a bit about cruelty and how that's getting
Yeah,
endemic in our society, even more so. And it's like
a lot of
he's
it.
like calling
Yeah,
bullshit on it on his blog. And I'm like down with that.
yeah.
That's what really got me to sort of do a little experiment of distancing myself from a bunch of people I used to hang out with, some of whom had treated me
Everybody.
cruelly, and I saw them treating
Yeah,
other people cruelly. And I decided, I'm just enabling
yeah,
this by being a part of this crowd, right?
yeah. And there's like a disgust with people that are, if you're sympathetic with somebody, it's like it's a bad thing. You know, that used to be like the default. You would have some sympathy and empathy, try to empathize, sympathize, whatever with someone's situation.
Well,
Now that's
you've
viewed as some
heard,
sort of weakness.
well, right. You've
So,
heard Elon Musk has actually come up with the term toxic empathy,
yeah, toxic empathy.
thinking that
I
it's
mean, I
actually
agree.
poison.
You can take those things too far. Just like anything, you can take them too far. But I'd much rather that be taken too far than the other thing, the other
Actually,
way.
one of
I
my
mean, because
guests
man,
just said something nice. First, she said, "I'm so sorry," and then she says, "I love this." Pam Wade says, "You cannot like me, but give me a chance to be unlikable first."
yeah, right. So you can't
Oh,
give me a
so
chance.
that
Give me a
just
chance.
cuts me. Like this vet
Yeah,
picking you, right? You never
yeah.
met that
Oh,
vet
yeah.
before, right?
No, I don't know who that is.
And never
Don't
will
even know who
again,
it
I guess.
is.
And you won't get that 5 times the normal fee.
Yeah, yeah, right. Exactly. Oh, the vet you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just ridiculous, ridiculous. And even her assistant who was in there helping translate was, you could tell, was very uncomfortable because she knew that this woman was being really, really ugly.
Yeah, we
And
gotta
so
be
I felt
kind
bad.
to each other.
It was weird. Yeah, I really felt
I
bad.
was I don't know if you saw my talk with Sophie that I did a day or so ago.
I
I
did
think
not. I just wait. So talk or a
she's
podcast? What do you mean? What do you mean by
it was
talk?
a podcast, and she's the
Okay, okay,
best-selling author of the Book of Angels, and she's just
okay.
back from Egypt. She's like 89 years old or something like that. And
What does
just
that mean, best selling? So sorry, how quickly? How do you get to be a bestseller? What does that mean? How's that defined?
I
Bestseller.
think you have
I
to
hear that a
sell a
lot.
certain number of books to get
Do you
there.
know what the number
Probably
is?
like
Though? But
million or
what's
something.
the number?
I
Of
don't
course
know.
you do. But
Let's look
what's the
it up.
number? Okay.
Well, I'll look
Yeah,
it up while we're talking.
I'm always curious because a lot of times when people say, "Well, this is a best-selling author," there's so many best-selling authors. It seems like everyone's a best-selling author. Who's not the best-selling authors out there? I
I'm not.
don't know.
My book hasn't
Okay.
sold at all, man.
Do you have a
Um,
book?
oh,
Everybody's got a book.
a book becomes a bestseller by selling a high volume of copies, often
Okay.
5,000 to 10,000 plus in a single week. And that's
Wow. That's
velocity.
in a week.
It's
5,000 copies
velocity.
of a book in a week. That would be, I would consider that, yes, probably best-selling.
Right. And let's just take a look
But
at Sophie's book
that
here.
says typically, so that definition leaves a lot of room for interpretation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The Book of Angels, Sophie Burnham. Okay,
Yeah, how much
let's
does
see
that
what
sell? How many copies did that sell?
I'm just going to check it out on Amazon. We should be able to figure that out. That's a little stats thing on Amazon.
Is
Yeah.
there? I didn't know that.
She did this thing in like 1990, I think, or thereabout.
Huh.
Oh, this
Did
one
you do your book?
is
So you did a book.
2011.
Did you do it on Amazon, Hal? Your book? Did you publish it there, or what did you do? How'd you publish it?
Actually, the things I've published actually been in other books, and
Okay.
I've not been the publisher. So
Okay, I see. I know what you mean. So academic, you're talking about like more academic, more in your conservatory, that area, or
yeah,
what
well,
kind?
actually, translation.
Yeah.
Her book was right now. It's number 299,788 in books. Two
From
hundred
where?
ninety-nine thousand
It's
seven
book
hundred
on
eighty-eight.
Amazon. On
But
Amazon.
yeah,
She
but it's
cracked the
on.
top 300,000.
It's
She
number
cracked the top.
287 in Christian angelology and demonology, and
Okay.
305 in angels and spirit guides. I think she was higher than that earlier, though.
Interesting.
And it's from
That's a per.
2011, so I don't think this is the original. I think
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
some
Right.
reprint of it.
All right.
I'm pretty sure.
So what is the book about? Why was it so popular?
It's about like angels, and
Like real? Okay, dude. Yeah, I
she's
got it. But
inspired a
like the
phenomenon.
real angels,
I'll give you
people's real interactions with them, or what they believe are
right.
their real
Actually,
interactions.
here it is. Here's the sub
Okay.
thing. It says,
All right. All
when
right.
Sophie Burnham wrote A Book of Angels, she inspired a phenomenon, an instant bestseller when it was originally published in 1990. This
Wow,
beautiful
that's a long
book
time.
not only tells extraordinary true stories of present day encounters with angels, but also traces the study of angels throughout history and in different cultures. Burnham writes about the powerful male angels, Buddhist bodhisattvas, Islamic angels, Hindu
Okay.
asparas,
So
the
it's not
material
just one. It's not just
entities,
Christian
priests,
angle. I got it.
Kabbalah, cherubim, seraphim, guardian angels, the angel of death, and others. My personal favorite is the angel of
All right.
death.
It's a great song by Slayer. One of Slayer's best
What was
songs.
that?
Yes. And also an album. I think it was their
What?
third or fourth. It was also one of their. I think their fourth album was Angel of Death, but I could be
Right.
wrong. I can't remember the name of the album, but
What band?
Slayer.
Oh, Slayer.
Slayer.
No,
Yes.
that's another friend of mine that's into Slayer. Well, God, Sophie has recently done a book though called "The Wonder and Happiness of Being Old."
Hmm.
So she's like,
So that's good for you. So you probably should read that one.
yeah, and our talk actually kind of centered on her little miracles that happened to her when she was traveling in Europe and then on to Egypt, and
Uh-huh.
just the fact that we're all going through all this stuff, but we need to be able to calm ourselves down, I think, and
Yeah.
embrace and recognize the sheer miracle of us being here at all. So
Yeah.
back
I,
to
I, you know, I wrote something about that one time. That was the lucky to be here thing. The odds, the probability of any single given person being alive at this time and now is, almost like infinity against. I mean, it's very, very low probability.
well,
And so people say because of that, you're very lucky to be here.
right.
But
The whole
if
idea
you,
of maintaining homeostasis as a eukaryotic life form, and let's get into
well,
that. Right? It's
see, the
just
problem, the problem I have is how just is that if you ask somebody at Auschwitz were they lucky to be here, they're going to give you a very different answer. So I don't know. I hate to generalize and say everybody just because you're here is lucky to be here because they're not actually. There's plenty of people that are not lucky to be here, and would be way better off probably not being here, and actually probably too many or more, or at least close to as many as are lucky to be here. So I don't know.
well, it
I mean, I
depends,
do believe.
depends on your definition of luck too, right?
Yeah, well, it depends on you, right? And it depends on what
Like
you
when
consider
I fell,
valuable.
like your
But if you're
pancreatitis was it? But it was sort of like worse than that. Your pancreas. Yeah,
necrotizing pancreatitis is the worst, the worst kind of pancreatitis you can get.
yeah, you had
Necrotizing pancreatitis.
necrotizing pancreatitis. So, folks, if you're trying to follow along here, we're going to talk a little bit about near-death experience, and you talk about lucky to be here. You were lucky to be able to have that and survive it.
Yeah, I call it death experience. I don't like the term near death experience because in my case I died twice actually, but it was sort of like it's hard to I say that, but it's like in my mind. I know, and that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I know, but I think physically, I
Mhm.
don't know that I was never officially declared dead.
Well, my other
I don't
guest here,
think.
Gabriella Kaloshi, had a bad fall in India, and she believes that part of
Yeah,
her died there. But
yeah.
she's actually a different person now with traumatic
I
brain injury she suffered.
well, that's the whole thing. I'm definitely different as well. But I didn't
Mhm.
suffer any brain damage. But at
Are you
least not that
sure?
doctors that well, I may have, but I definitely changed my personality, and I think for the better, which is unusual because most people actually when they get injured and they change, it's for the bad. They usually really get
Mm.
bad, like way worse, typically. And that's what I've written about also, which I find so fascinating. Why injuries and brain injuries, whenever there's a personality change, it's always for the worse. Almost always. Now I can't say always, but 90+% of the time, if someone
Well, there
has
are
a
some
serious
cases where
accident,
somebody will have a
heart
brain
attack,
injury and turn out to be a concert
there's
pianist right afterwards.
yeah, I mean that does happen. But that's pretty rare. Usually they just get mean and nasty. Same thing with heart attacks. People have heart attacks. They come home and their family doesn't recognize them anymore because they're
They're
just mean.
depressed.
They're nasty,
Mhm.
depressed, or they get depressed. And it's just like, why is that? It should be 50-50, right? If it's just random chance, it should be an equal number of people that get better or that have better personality traits that get worse. But it's not that way. It's heavily shifted towards the negative, which
Interesting.
which I've thought about why, how to hypothesize why that's the case. And you
What does
think
that
about
mean?
evolution and fight or flight response and of course, when you get injured, you're going to activate all the aggressiveness, all those things. And so then when you recover, maybe it never comes back. I don't know. It's a baseline. It's one
Get
possibility.
defensive, yeah.
So, but I don't know. I
No,
don't really
I
anybody
don't know
knows.
either. Carl Jung had a heart attack, in the 40s, I think. I'm not sure exactly when. But he was pulled back from the edge, right? And came back to life. And he was like, oh, I've got to go back to the world of the boxes, is how he put it. Back to the three-dimensional life he was in before. And he was really resentful and very depressed after that. It took him a long
Yeah,
time to pull out of it. If
but
he had
he
lived.
did pull out of it. Oh yeah, you don't know if he did or not. Okay.
Well, it's debatable. I was reading Memories, Dreams, and Reflections to try to get this. That was his autobiography, his spiritual autobiography that he wrote towards the end of his life, which ended in 1961, before I was born. The guy's tremendously influential. We also talked a little bit about Denial of Death by Ernest Becker, Sophie and I did, because she is embracing life, while it's in us. We
Yeah,
have to really
yeah,
life loves the liver of it,
yeah, yeah.
not
I don't know.
just
People take
the
this
organ.
life thing too far though. Too how you got everybody. All these. It seems to be like a tech phenomena, the tech bro phenomena, where they want to live forever. This immortality thing is like it's part of my immortality hypothesis that the direct correlation between how badly someone wants to live forever and how shitty of a person they are. it seems like
The
it's always
skinnier
the
the
case, dude.
person, the longer they're going to live.
Exactly. The people that absolutely want to be immortal are like the worst people in the world. Always. It's
Well,
like always.
Ray Kurzweil, so Ray Kurzweil, right? He
Like,
did those keyboards. They're actually pretty
is
good.
he the guy? Is this the guy that eats all the or drinks the blood or whatever and all this other crap to try to live longer? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
He's got a lot of supplements. I don't know about the drinking blood thing. I'd like to know
Yeah.
about that. I ought to dig into him
Yeah.
more. But he's the one who wrote "The Singularity Is Near" and "The
I
Age of the
see.
Spiritual Machines" and things like
I
that.
wrote
And
that
he's the
too.
one, who's trying to drive us towards that technological singularity.
Right. Yes.
Now, I had somebody I was talking to at
Always
Amnesty
just around the
International.
corner.
I was just at Amnesty International's annual general meeting, the USA
Yeah.
branch anyway of it. And I was talking to a young lady who's not very big a fan of AI, particularly generative AI, but I think AI in general. And
Uh-huh.
she's 26 years old. So just put a little context on it. So we were talking about what the hell were the tech bros, right? And the way
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
going, and that she was saying that
Yeah.
she thinks the singularity has already happened, and we're
Uh,
living in the consequences of it right now. And it
okay.
depends on how you define the singularity that
Yeah.
no
Well,
longer.
technically, typically that's is a utopian ideal where the humans no longer have to work because we're living a carefree life, pursuing our interests, and machines,
Oh,
intelligent
by the
machines
way,
are
I
taking
got a
care of
job.
our every need. Of our every need. You got a job. Oh,
Yeah,
congrats, man.
I
I
start on
guess,
the
or maybe not.
21st. I'm in
Where
my
at?
training program at Daily Provisions, which is
So
a
you
little
got the job
cafe
there.
down on the corner in front of
I
house
see.
staff.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that'll be
So you'd be like
interesting.
meeting and greeting people, basically, kind of. I guess
Well, not
that's sort
just
of the.
meeting and greeting, but serving a lot, and cleaning
Okay,
up.
I
Basically
see.
taking people's dishes after they're done. You give
Yeah,
them
yeah.
their food
Okay.
and you basically also pull a lot of shots.
So a bus boy, essentially, but at advanced level,
No, and barista.
and waiter, I guess too, sort of
Yeah,
hybrid.
and you have to do the barista thing too. I think to some extent. I mean, I'd
Have you
rather.
ever done this before? Have you
I
ever done anything like that before?
No, not really. I mean, sort of, kind of. I mean, I guess food service kind of thing at Pizza Hut. I was Pizza Hut delivery boy, and
Okay, so
I
you
just did
had
the
that.
driving, man. I didn't want to do any of
Ah,
the kitchen
I
shit.
see. I see.
Steered away
I was
from it.
I worked for a catering company in high school for many years, so I
Yeah,
mean I know the food service. I mean it was fun. It was a great job for high school, except there's a lot of gross people, a lot of gross people, especially like older women. They're just like harassing you and grabbing your ass and shit constantly and
yeah.
demanding
Well,
demanding
I've
coffee.
experienced that.
It was yeah, it was weird. It's kind of weird,
I
but you got
thought
good
it was.
tips. You got
Well,
good tips.
depending on how much you let your ass be
Right,
grabbed.
exactly. Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear that you were traumatized
Sex,
that way.
I was clearly sexually abused as a child. There, I'm not talking about make light of it, but it was yeah, but it was a good
These
job.
these these
Cash tips.
these primates that we are, we really do abuse each other
Yep,
quite a bit.
no doubt about that. Yes, we do. A lot more recently, it feels like
Yeah, I'm not
to me.
flinging my feces at you, but
Yeah, but you'd like to be.
I'm just like half a chromosome away from that.
Yes, right.
I don't know. Is that actually true that we're a half a chromosome away from being chimps or
I
bonobos?
don't. See, that's a weird half a chromosome. We're actually much closer than that. It depends because by
Hmm.
percentages, we're all. It's the percentages that were different is very tiny. The chromosome's quite large, so it depends on if you're comparing chromosome to chromosome or chromosome to genome. I don't know what that comparison actually means.
No,
Like
I
your
don't
quote
either.
you're
There's
talking
a
about.
line from
So
Christopher Hitchens
that's what
who
they rely
wrote
on. That's what people rely on. That people don't understand science because
right
that's actually makes no sense to me that sentence because it really
and,
depends on how those things are defined.
and how they're arranged,
Exactly.
obviously.
Yeah,
The
exactly,
different
exactly. So,
proteins
but yeah,
that are
we are
involved.
super closely related to primates, no doubt about that. Super close, very
Well, we
close
are
related.
primates. I mean,
Correct. But we're also closely related to other mammals, almost every mammal. I mean, the differentiation of
and
as a
fungi.
mammal, is small. It's not like we're super duper different from dogs and cats. I mean,
And
or other
I was
animals.
really surprised to find out that animals are probably more closely related to fungi than we are to plants.
Not probably. They definitely are. There's no probably about it.
Hmm.
Absolutely, that's the case. They're both more closely related to plants, and you see that in their, they eat food. They have more of a metabolism like an animal
And
more
by
than
the
a
way,
plant. They
I
don't.
guess if you're asking questions or anything, I did see somebody throw Red Book up there. That
Red
was a
book
Carl Jung reference, naturally. But otherwise, it's pretty quiet. But we do have 11 people with us today.
on a Friday afternoon or Friday evening. Why aren't you people out doing
And
something?
we
So
are
listen to
talking
me.
to somebody who really knows what he's talking about when it comes to
Yeah,
biology,
right.
right?
Well, yeah. I guess I could say biology and microbiology and molecular biology and many other things. Almost everything, probably. But yeah.
Molecular biology.
Right. And computer science, everything. I'm an expert in everything. I'm kidding. When I say that, I'm kidding. I'm not an expert in everything, but I am an expert
You're
in
an
molecular biology
expert in
and microbiology.
being an agent provocateur. Should we go there?
Okay, sure, sure.
You
Provocateur.
sent me a draft the other day. You want to talk about that?
Not exactly, not particularly. It was in a particularly gross mood, I guess, and it was disturbed me.
At
I
least
started thinking
you
these.
asked,
I
and
was so disturbed.
I
I
gave
almost
you
published it
carte
without
blanche.
asking. I'm glad I didn't now because as I think
Thank
about it,
God for your wife.
yes, she was like, well, okay. First, she read it without reading the preface. She just read it, and she was about. I was like, I thought she was gonna kill me or something. I was like, oh my god, it's that bad. But then I said, well, hold on, stop. Go back and read it with the preface. Like, okay, so then she read it with the author, a little preface thing at the beginning. That sort of helped contextualize it. But still, it's pretty bad. I mean, the title alone is, you know,
Now, we
very
won't
offensive.
But just
But I
suffice
mean,
it to say that this man once
but
got banned or has been permanently banned from Medium
it's correct. Yes,
for writing
yes.
satirical
Oh, for
material.
plagiarism. It was plagiarism, according to whoever.
Really, a
It was
plagiarized
not
it?
plagiarism. It was not plagiarism, dude. God. Anyway,
But in
it was
any case,
not.
I believe it has a lot to do with the fact that you write satirically in a
Correct.
way
It
that
has
people
everything.
cannot tell is satire.
Correct. And it's their own fault. Damn it. But no.
I've been just taken to task because I put up this picture from Humans of New York, about
Yeah.
a pediatrician
Yes.
saying some things about what it's like to be a pediatrician and just all the trauma involved and, losing
Yeah.
patients who are
I
young.
can. I can. I can only imagine. Yeah.
And
And that's.
anyway, I put up a picture and then I made a note about, in memory of my old pediatrician. And somebody said, "Oh, you led us to believe that that was a picture of Dr. Fletcher." No, I
Hmm.
didn't. Your
So that was your way.
inattention to what I posted is what
I
gave
see.
you that idea, but I never intended that. And for
Yeah.
you to make your inattention my fault is
Yeah.
basically as lazy as you
It
can get.
happens.
Basically, that person.
Happens all the time online with writing. That's the downside with writing and publishing online, man. People, it's impossible. The interpretation oftentimes is not what the intent. It does not
But
align with the
being
intent.
kind and assuming virtue would be nice. I think
Yeah.
we all need to be kinder to each other. I
Yeah.
think we don't get kinder to each other, we're going to have a lot more problems like you're having down there of being
Yeah.
mistreated. And do not
Yeah.
mistreat people, whether they're
But the,
immigrants or otherwise. Is my
yeah. No,
listen. If
I
there are
hear you,
some,
man. It's me. It's common sense. It's common sense. It's how I've always been. I guess maybe my parents taught me that. I don't know where it came from, but it seems to make sense to me. But anyhow, but the title, but the story. Anyways, back to the story though, real quick.
okay,
I mean, the fact that I could write that story and come up with that title and it actually be clever and kind of funny in a very disturbing way is very disturbing to me. I mean, it's just, and it
oh,
really, really upset me
you
because
ought to
that
visit
should
my
not,
house.
it shouldn't even be possible to make that joke, but yet it is. And it's like it's not even a joke. It's like it's partly real, at least based on reports and based on what these files have said. And so it's really disturbing to me. And then people are just like whatever, they're kind of blowing it off. Like it's almost like these things are there's so many of these things that are just beyond the pale that people have given up even worrying about it, or they don't believe it, or I don't know what the deal is, but no one seems to really give a shit. So I don't know.
That last part, that we just don't care.
I don't understand. We don't care. I think people care. They don't know. Maybe they don't know what to do, or there's nothing. They feel like there's nothing they can do, and they're probably right. There isn't really anything they can do. But man, at least say I don't know. Write something like I wrote. I don't know. I don't know. But then don't publish it like I did, like a coward. But
Well, I don't
I
think
don't
that
know.
was cowardice at all not to publish it. It was probably wise. I mean, that's what we have
Well,
now, basically, to keep us from
yeah.
doing dumb shit.
No, I know. I mean, it probably was, but at the same time, I feel bad about it because I think it
Mm.
makes an important point, and I think for some people, maybe it'll wake them up. I doubt it. but it definitely could piss off a lot of people too. And the after medium and the
It would
threats we
just
had and
be.
the potential violence.
I mean,
I
I
don't want to
just
go
thought
through
it
that
was just
again.
crude, right? That was the way I
Yeah,
looked at it. And it was
it
like,
was.
yeah,
It's
it's free
yeah,
speech, so you can be crude if you want to. I'm not going to
yeah.
prevent
You
you from
say that.
being crude.
There's plenty of people that don't believe that way. I mean, and
You
really,
must be
I don't know.
silenced for once and for all. Is that it?
Or yeah, or since it doesn't align with their political beliefs, so they're you're attacking someone they don't want to be attacked. Even it's that. It's I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, there's some
But
pretty shocking stuff out there, and I don't know what it's going to take for our society to grow up as civilization. Maybe it never will. Maybe we'll always have this persistent infantilism, if you will,
well,
or
if we make it much longer, Hal, that's the thing here.
bestiality.
If
You
we
know?
get that far, if there is much of a future, I'm getting more and more nervous. I just have lots of
Oh
people
well,
I talk to
it's
on the
part of
bio
aging.
side. I
We
just
all anticipate a doom, and we're all doomed for
yeah,
sure.
we
And
are we
that's
are.
why
I
things are
don't
not
like
now.
this loose talk. The loose talk I'm hearing from people that know better about the use of particular things that they are, and it's like it's no big deal. The people have forgotten just how awful these things are, or they don't recognize, or they don't care. I don't even know what it is, but like they're just talking about doing things like that with no understanding of, or not caring about the impact on everybody and everything. It's just I don't know. It gets me a little bit worried because these are potentially presumably responsible people or thought to be responsible people, and they're the things they're saying are absurd and insane in some cases,
Would
and
you like
it
to
worries me a lot.
specific? We've got just things here. We've got
Well, like it's just well,
placeholders.
I guess so. There's an article I read on, actually I read on Substack. Apparently there's some congressmen who are talking about that they're communicating with a god via an AI, a demon called Inky, which happens to be my dog's name, by the way. Here, this is Inky here. See him right there? He's the Kangle.
Oh
So we
wait,
named him Inky.
wait a second. Yeah, I think they probably are talking to the dog.
Yeah, they could be. But anyways,
It's
Inky. So I thought it was a
absolutely
cool
a
name.
dog.
He's from Turkey, ancient. So they've been around.
Okay,
They're the oldest dog breed from the
okay.
Mesopotamian plains, the Anatolian plains in Turkey. Was the seat of Mesopotamia. They had a god. One of their gods was Enki,
Inky.
Enki. And
Inky.
so I thought, oh, that's cool. It's a tribute to the fact that it's an old dog. That's where he's from. Cool name. Probably not everybody's heard about it.
Right.
Then I read this article and I'm like, shit. People have heard about him apparently.
Inky.
And now it's Tara's good name. And now my dog's name sucks now. So I was kind of pissed about that. But just the idea that these Congress, and they were 100% serious,
The
that they
Congress.
actually believe, yes, that they're communicating with a demon via AI and taking direction on what to do. And I don't know, but and that's
You
fine. But then,
taking directions from demons. That's
yes,
not a bad idea.
who are who are communicating to them via AI on other computers.
To get
And
directions on what you should do next to
I
bring
get,
about
I don't know, I don't
the
know, man. Yeah, I guess. And then,
the
but
end times. And because I do
I
hear a
guess,
lot of
man,
talk about that. You know.
there is, and then, and then I don't know. The bio side, the biological agents, the use of biological agents. Of course, that's my thing, and so I know a lot of people that have know things and have been in that area or whatever. And it's just there's, Russia had a very
I met
large
one of your
program.
friends here one time. He got on with us. That was great. I would love to have him back.
Yeah, Greg. I'm trying to get him to come on too and talk about his work. And I was chatting with him the other day, and he reminded me they had 7 bioweapons facilities there in Russia. Obelisк was the biggest one, but that was particularly only bacterial pathogens. But they also had 6 other ones. They had one that was dedicated to viral pathogens. All offensive biological weapons research going on in these
Mhm.
labs,
Yeah.
and including monkeypox was one of their favorite organisms to work with. Which, by the way, if you recall, showed up out of nowhere, just out of the blue, exactly when Russia was looking like shit from the Ukrainian war and feeling very weak. I'm not saying anything, but I don't know. If you look at the genome of that monkeypox strain, it's got these 2 huge
Monkeypox.
deletions.
Got it. Got it.
Yes, monkeypox. Yes, which is running rampant,
Everybody's
by the way,
hand.
throughout the
Huh?
U.S. It's absolutely running rampant because
It
first of all,
still is.
it's an STD, so there's a lot of stigma around it, around reporting it
So
to
you're not
doctors.
hearing much about it.
So it's way underreported. I mean, big time.
So
And
let's
so
report
it's
on
going.
it. Let's
It's
blow it up, man.
it's all over the place, man.
Let's get
And
some articles on that.
yeah, I wrote a few, but I'm not probably done on my monkeypox days. But I've actually been vaccinated with smallpox vaccine, so I have protection. But no one else does because they don't give that vaccine. And the reason they don't give it is because it's horrible. I was sick as fuck, man. I've never almost as
Hey,
sick as I've ever been in my life from the vaccine. And that's the reason they don't give it because Americans will not. They refuse to get sick. If there's a vaccine that gets you sick, people are not going to take it,
hmm.
and they're gonna just not do it. And so they don't
Well,
even
the
bother
Clinton
trying.
made me a little sick here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, I took it.
Maybe the
I take some
Soviets
odd
did
vaccines.
too.
Well, and many of them make you really, really sick. I mean,
Yeah,
that's not surprising because what they do is they emulate you getting the disease because
right.
they're trying to, they activate the immune system. And so
Mhm.
people are surprised. Oh, I got sick from the flu. I got the flu from the flu vaccine. Yes, yeah, you did. Correct. You were correct. But they're surprised by that. And this is like, what in the? Like, because people don't have an understanding of immunology or science, and doctors don't are afraid to say anything because they don't want to get sued, so they don't tell you anything. And it's like, I don't
Well,
know.
I've got to get
And
them to research the AI Inky thing because
yeah,
what
I can't
Congress?
remember the guy's name. I don't actually know. I could be wrong on the Congress angle, but it was somebody important, or some important people that were doing this. Look, it's on Substack. I can't remember the author's name. Uh,
Yeah, if it's on
I can find it
Substack,
for you
it's
if
got
you
to be
can't find
true.
it. If you can't find it, of course, of course it is well sourced. I'm sure too. But if you can't find it, let me know how, and I'll send you the link because I know where it is because I
Okay.
actually
Well, I
responded to
would
it.
probably do my own research too because I want to dig
Yeah,
into these things. I don't want to blow the covers off of them. Kind of like I did the other
yeah.
day. Did you see my? Maybe you missed my public service announcement about how if you think AI is conscious, you're wrong.
You're correct in that actually, Hal. Good job. I did
Yeah.
see that,
Well, the thing is,
and I was,
it's endemic right now that people get attached to
I
their
know.
chatbots or whatever, and they think there's consciousness going on there. And then you have
Yeah,
freaking people who Claude researchers or whatever who are building this stuff also saying, well, we don't really know if it's conscious or not.
I know. I
Yes,
know.
we
It's
do.
ridiculous, man. It's the same. Well, it was the
And
same thing with the
Claude
whole.
qualia or qualia or however you say that word. How do you say
Yeah,
that word? Do you say qualia
qualia.
or qualia? Qualia.
I say qualia. I don't know if that's the appropriate way.
Qualia.
But I've always said qualia. But
Yeah, well, I
yeah, I
had
don't.
this friend that
It's
taught this thing before. I love her, Julia, and she said
yeah,
qualia, but she was coming from, well, I guess she was a native of Italy,
yeah.
Romanian extraction, living on the Canary Islands now. She's really doing really from what I could pick
I think
up.
it was.
She's writing
If I
science
recall,
fiction. She got out of
it might
AI
have been.
entirely because she
I
was in the
think
chip
it was.
making, you know? Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, right. I was gonna say I
Yeah.
think it might have been Rudolf Carnap, the logician Rudolf Carnap that first coined the term. Although I could be wrong, and I don't know what his nationality was, but
Carnap.
of
Yeah,
qualia.
Rudolf Carnap. Yeah,
Ron,
I know the name. What is he famous for again?
he was a philosopher. Rudolf he was a logician. Rudolf
Was there
Carnap.
something in
He's
particular?
not famous at all. He's very obscure. He's not in the
Well, his
least
name
famous.
was clear to me. I remember Carnap from my studies around Paul Feyerabend. And in fact, I have Paul's autobiography right here. It's
Okay.
Killing Time.
Well, if you do, then
What a
you're
great
one
guy.
more than most.
I think Carnap
And,
is probably mentioned in it. I would expect. Is it indexed? Yes, it is. What does he mention? Carnap. Yeah, there she is. 69, 118 to 119. That looks like a longer passage. I could bore you with reading Killing Time to you. Killing Time is actually a lot of fun.
you can
This
kill
guy
time by
was
reading killing
this
time. So that's a
guy
very
taught at
ironic.
Berkeley. He was a German who came from like the Nazi army. He
Yeah.
was directing traffic in Berlin and got shot by the Russians. Yeah, so yeah, whatever. Carnap's in here somewhere, apparently on 118 and 119. There it is. Is it interesting? On weekends and during vacations, I travel south to Santa Barbara, San Bernardino, Pomona College, the University of Southern California, University of California, Los Angeles, east to Boston and Pittsburgh. Tarski, Mostalski, and Carnap
Oh,
listened to the
Alfred
talk
Tarski.
I gave at UCLA. Hey,
Oh, interesting.
yeah,
Interesting. I didn't know he was in the U.S. even. I thought he was like I don't know, some from Eastern European, not Eastern European, but Western
yeah, he
European
went to
dudes. But
UCLA apparently listening to a talk, and after the discussion,
I think
Carnap approached me. I was afraid of meeting you. Thought you were a nasty person, but the moment you entered the lecture hall, I realized you were not. It took some time to find the reason for the extraordinary statement. In 1957, after my first visit to Minnesota Center, I started corresponding with Feigl. My letters were
ah
personal nature, but contained comments on things I had read, Carnap's papers included. He was irreverent. This guy's whole motto in philosophy was anything goes.
I've never heard of this guy. Who is this guy? What's his name?
Paul Feyerabend.
Oh, Fire Robin. No, I've not heard the name, but I'll have to look
You
into it.
should read him because he's interesting. He did a book called Against Method, and he was taking on, among other things, Thomas Kuhn's,
Oh
old,
yeah,
you
I
know,
love the structure of scientific revolutions. Thomas Kuhn's
exactly,
paradigm shift.
exactly.
The paradigm shift. The origin of that term,
The
which people
paradigm
abuse the
shift.
shit out.
Yes,
Abuse the
yes,
shit out of
yes.
that, by the way. Everything's a paradigm shift, but by Kuhn's original formulation of it, It is not. Many people say, hey, it's a paradigm shift, it's such and such. But if
There's
you
a,
actually look at the definition, it's not.
there's a
So,
posthumous book by Feyerabend called The Conquest of Abundance, a tale of abstraction versus the richness of being. Oh, I'm surprised I remember the subtitle. It's good and it's fun if you like brain
sounds
games
very deep.
and
I
you
don't
like
ever
some
let me, don't ever let me,
challenge.
don't ever let me
The
publish a book with that
richness
kind of
of
a deep
being.
title.
Well, the richness of being, he's saying basically we are abstracting everything through language, as you know, and
Uh,
that distances us from reality. We're not connected to reality.
so he's
We're
an
these
anti-Wittgensteinian.
delusional monkeys, right? Huh?
Yeah, that's interesting. So you say, yeah, most people I would think would say language constructs our reality, not that it distances us from it. So he's taking a very, I would say, anti-establishment view of the role of language.
Yeah, go at that again. You went a little fast.
I was gonna say, so that's a very anti sort of traditional view on the. Most people view language as creating our reality, actually, and not
Creating.
distancing us from it. Distancing us from it. If you look at language, the philosophy of language, I would say that's the majority view, and that's a minority view to say that it distances us from reality. It's interesting though.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you can see it developing from and what he does. He goes back to Homeric and
Yeah,
notes the way that the language was unable to express certain concepts expressed very fluidly, and how Achilles sort of breaks through that in Homer. It's weird,
yeah.
and I can't even.
Language is always holding us back. My dog just took a giant turd, and I can't find my bags that I brought with me to pick up
Oh,
turds with, and I don't want to leave the park without picking it up because I feel bad.
I
And
hope
now
you
I don't know
find the
where they.
bag.
That's why I'm wandering. That's why I'm wandering around in circles.
I hope
So
you can find it, and
I
maybe
had
you
it in my
can get
back
that
pocket.
third.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of them, but they
A
fell in my
lot of
pocket.
bacteria involved there. That's another
Yes, there
thing.
are. Yes, there are. Fecal bacteria. The fecal microbiome is
I
probably the
was
most well
thinking,
studied.
yeah, and having fecal transplants to get your biome back together is something that's saying,
Yeah, they've seen some success with that, and I don't think it's been as much of a breakthrough as people had hoped
no,
originally. And
well,
I don't know that's clear why, but it has helped some for sure. I think.
yeah, I mean, I think it's fascinating. I've been fascinated with my own poop for a long time. I guess it's an anal phase.
And you were living in a basement and not married at 44,
What
huh?
is this
What if
stuff?
those two things go? What if those two things go together?
Yeah, I got to
I
admit,
should talk.
one
I'm
time
one to
I
talk.
came into this apartment and I heard this
Yeah.
weird noise in the bathroom, and it was I said, hee, hee, hee. And it had been a heavy rain,
Uh-huh.
and a
All
rat
right.
would come up from the sewer into the toilet.
Nice. Oh,
When I
jeez.
saw
New
this
York.
thing in there, I was like,
Nice.
slam down the lid, and I thought, what the hell am I going to do?
It was in the
But
toilet. Oh my god.
so I just sent him
That's like
back.
a.
Well, once he came,
Did you
I
flush it? You just
sent him
flushed it.
down to
You
the
just
toilet.
flushed. Oh, dude. Yeah, I don't think I could ever use the bathroom again after that. I'd be like, no, I'll pass.
I
After
told the
seeing that.
landlord. He freaked out. He was so terrified. He lived upstairs. You see, he was a playwright. He was formerly a food economist. Had a
Right,
nice
right.
career in that, and then became a playwright. He wrote one on Mussolini. That was my wife saw at one of these fringe festivals. He
Yeah.
also did one called Lincoln and God that was interminable and
So,
watchable.
just documenting. There are no poop bags here. Usually they provide some poop bags for sharing, but there are none there. So I'm gonna have to leave this one. I feel really bad.
Oh my
But
God. Yeah, well,
wait, hold on. I might see
I
one.
think that we all now know we can use
I
this in
see
a court
one.
of law against you.
Yeah, no, I've actually found a bag. I think I see one here.
Hooray! This is
Yes,
big drama
I
on
do.
Carol. We don't
Here it
usually
is.
have such
Yes.
drama.
So anybody in the
It's
neighborhood
like,
gets mad at me about not picking up poop. I do pick up poop. I try. There are some times I forget bags, pretty rarely, but I do. So I can't say I'm perfect, but I do my best.
well, I'm delighted that you could make time for us on Harrowings today to bring us
Are you trying to get
along.
rid of me, Hal? I think you're trying to get rid of me. That's what it sounds like here. That's the kind of line you say when you're about to
No,
get
no,
about to
no, we're
leave.
not wrapping up. I'm
That's
just
fine,
talking
dude.
about how I'm delighted
It's
that I can
right.
get such dramatic material.
Right. Very
You're
dramatic. Yeah,
dealing with
I
Carnap
won't
and
show you the poop.
Feyerabend and, you know,
Right.
this
I won't
Inky.
make you watch the poop be picked up.
Was it Inky's
Yeah.
poop or was it the other one?
Yes, it is. It's Inky's, and Inky is a large dog, so you can only imagine what
He's a
they go
dog.
together. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
Let's just say that.
a demonic dog. Well,
Yeah.
dogs
Right.
are often inhabited by evil spirits. You've seen
Right. Of course. Seen what? What have I seen? Have I seen what?
Ghostbusters.
Yes, I've seen Ghostbusters. Yes. So funny. I was
Yeah,
just talking about that movie the other day.
so your girlfriend's a dog. Yeah. That's a great
Yeah,
line.
that's right. That's right. That is a great line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie had some pretty good lines actually. It was actually kind of funny. The first one. Good
Yeah, it was
cast.
good. Well, it's good,
Dan Aykroyd,
it's
Bill
good
Murray.
ensemble acting, and that's one thing I've been
Yeah.
big on lately, talking about ensemble, the power of that. I was talking to my friend Lori, who was starred in Day of the Dead. Did you
Oh,
ever see
really? She's
that?
in that movie? Yeah, I have.
She's
Yeah, that's classic.
she's the star. She's Sarah.
Really? Really?
Yeah, and they
Like,
made
there's been a million
action together.
versions of it. So you're
Huh?
talking about the original version? There's like a million versions of that. Like, which version? Like,
Well,
the
there was
original?
Day of the Living Dead. There was Night of the Living Dead. That was the
Yes.
first one,
Right.
George Romero. Then there was
Yes.
Dawn of the Dead in the shopping
Yeah.
mall. Then there was
Right.
Day of the Dead. That's the one she acted in the
Okay.
trilogy.
Is it
George
also
Romero,
Romero? Is it also Romero that directed that one?
all
Or
Romero. She was good friends with
okay.
him, and her
Oh man, that's
father
cool.
was too. Her father did a thing called Chiller Theater in Pittsburgh, which was a
Hmm.
television show like Doctor Demento or
Yeah.
something.
I gotcha.
And
Okay.
he was beloved much. They were like the last NBC channel to put Saturday Night Live on because it would have bumped into Chiller Theater. That was in
Huh.
West Pennsylvania,
Oh,
such a
that's
big
funny.
deal. People
Huh.
stayed up to watch Chiller Theater, and they didn't want to, bump that time zone.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, um,
Hmm.
Lori's lovely, and I'm hoping to have her on the show one day. But we had a phone
Yeah.
conversation about the power of ensemble acting. When you have a good
Yeah.
ensemble and you're stronger than the whole. She was also a basketball player, apparently, in high school. And just the idea of team sports and
Yeah.
acting ensembles and different roles. I'm big on the
Sci-
film Wonder
Science
Boy.
is
It's a wonderful ensemble
science.
cast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Science is
so
also an ensemble activity. Most people don't realize. Like, the common perception is that it's an individual genius on the bench or whatever. He has a bright idea, and all of a
right.
sudden he saves the world. And it's not. It's nothing like that. It's not
Well,
today,
that's
at
the
least.
problem we have, right? The headman theory that it's got to be
Yeah.
individually a
Yeah.
man.
And,
Um,
it's almost always
that
always
was
portion.
why
Yeah.
Day of the Dead was kind of
Yeah. You're right. That
groundbreaking.
was.
Strong
Yeah. You're right.
female
That
lead.
was for that time. For that time. Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, so I got to talk to her. We've been friends for 20 plus years, and she's got a book called "I'm Going to Tell." Speaking about the scenario, the article you were that we're not
Yeah.
publishing,
Yeah.
and her book "I'm Going to Tell" is about being abused by her uncle, who was also her doctor as a child, and how she
Yeah.
didn't tell about it, but she finally did, and justice was never meted out. He somehow
That
managed
happens a
to
lot.
dodge justice. And this happens
That
an
happens a
awful
lot.
lot. Men of power and powerful positions can dodge it, but still speaking truth. So I'm hoping to have her on to talk about that in particular.
Yeah.
I'm giving a lot
Yeah.
of women voices,
Hey.
and I'm well, not
Oh.
I'm giving them, but I'm trying to make sure I have women on the show to talk about the
Yeah.
things that women experience in the world versus what we experience.
Which is very, very different. I can
It
I
is.
definitely know
It's
that.
horrific,
There's
right?
the pressure that women are under. I mean, it just seems like it's crazy to me, and it's other women that are pressuring them like this, and it's like they're asked to sacrifice everything, do everything, and then not complain. And to be a good girl, you have to say yes to everything. You can never be sad. I mean, you can't. It's like you can't do anything for yourself. You got to put everybody else first. It's really a very destructive philosophy.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've all bought into it and participated in it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
without thinking about it. That's what we need to do more is we need to
Some
be
some
more
some are not thinking about it. Some I think are thinking about it and
well,
are
we
very
are.
much in favor
You
of
and
it.
I are right now, and we can
Yeah.
articulate something about it
Yeah.
and something
How
of
it's
horror at
possible not to notice it. It's impossible not to notice it, especially when you start looking for it. And you
it.
see, if you know any women and you talk to them about what their lives are like, you're like, what the? And you hear about stories they tell. It's just like it's crazy, and it's like normal to them. This kind of stuff, and I just blows my mind.
That's the normalization of any of this, aberrant well, how should I say it? Unconstructive behavior at
Yeah,
worst.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have language for it. Again, language
yeah,
fails from being
yeah,
able to deal with the reality of people's experience.
yeah.
That's nicely said. I should talk more like
You should just talk more in general, Hal. I think you don't talk
that.
enough. Is what I hear. That's what I've always heard.
That's shocking.
I
And
don't know why I
that
still don't remember still don't remember what I wanted to talk about, and why I wanted to talk today. But we had, I think, an okay
draw a
conversation.
number of themes.
I know I didn't get it though. Whatever it was, I
Temptation.
know for sure I did not hit the topic because I would have known if I had, but I have not. So, oh well. Next
Maybe
time.
we can fish it up. You're not
I
done
can't.
yet, are you? Are you done?
Well, I'm almost home. No, I'm almost home. Wait, we'll get to my house and then we'll call it. I'm like a block away. Oh,
Not
here's my
to
bags. Look,
step into the
here's my
trap.
bags. They're on the street. They fell out of my pocket. That was the problem. That's why I had no
All
bags.
right. Now there it is. Then you haven't lost it for time in Tijuana.
No.
By the way,
Yeah.
everyday journalists in Tijuana,
Yes.
molecular
This is Tijuana's my
biologists,
neighborhood.
and we often have wide-ranging discussions on all kinds of stuff because we're all kind of aghast at the world we live in. I think. Would you say that's
Yeah, I
true?
guess. I think I'm a gas, but I'm also very positive and optimistic about it, and about people, and especially at least the ones I know. There's some of that. Well, a few that I know, less and less each day actually. But I don't know. I'm not gonna give up hope, and I never will.
Mm.
So if that means anything, probably not. But say it anyways.
I don't say never. I
You
don't
won't say
give up
never.
hope that
I
my
am. I'm
final
willing to.
draft.
I'm willing to go say never. I'm willing to go that far and say never
All
right
right.
now in front of this
Yeah.
whole audience.
Keep
I'm
hope
never gonna give up hope.
alive, man. Keep hope alive.
Now I didn't define
Jesse's
what hope is
gone,
though.
so you got to
So
do it. If Jesse Jackson
that's
isn't here to keep hope alive, who's going to do it?
that dog that's barking right now. You should see how small it is. And these two dogs, they are pretty big. The
They
dog
are
is
pretty big.
like the size of my
So,
hand, and it just
so
goes
say
nuts. And you start,
easy now. The German Shepherd's name is
Luna, Luna, the most
Luna.
common dog name in all of the world. Yes, Luna. Apparently,
Oh, is it? Oh,
I hear
fascinating.
Luna everywhere. At least down here it is. Everybody's got a dog named Luna down here for some reason. But
Well, the
they're
moon
both
is young. Hmm.
they're good. They're good alone. Like they are well behaved on their own. But when they have them together, they feed on each other's worst tendencies. And so it's hard. Like taking them on walks like this together. These guys are pulling like this and all this. They don't do this alone. Like to heal. They're not good dogs. But together they're not. They're pretty bad.
At least they
Strange.
have each other.
They have well, yeah, but it's a dysfunctional relationship actually that my dogs have. I think because it's like
Really?
it's not clear. With a dog, you have one
He froze and camera off.
fourth, and I've never seen it. Well, I don't have a ton of experience with dogs, but you would think Inky, being the big guy that he is, would for sure take the role of the lead. But no, she bullies him for food and all kinds of other stuff all the time, and he's just like, oh, okay.
You
He
just got
takes it.
on your wireless. I think we blacked out for a second.
Ah,
Now
sorry.
we've
I was
got
just walking in my garage.
much
Hold
sharper.
on. Let me just give me one sec here. Once I get back in the house,
Gorgeous.
you can come. You can come in the house with me. See my house if you want.
Yeah,
Well, you have no
nice
choice
wood
here
shop.
still if you're on.
You making
Yeah, which
things?
is nice. Look at this. Yeah, it's nice. You call this nice? It's a giant mess, Hal. There's shit everywhere. But yeah,
I've seen worse, believe me.
yeah, yeah. Me too.
It's somewhat well, yeah, you're right. It's kind of
I just make sure
never
I don't have
mind.
any. All right, fine. But see,
It is,
I have a pretty nice house here. So, I got
yeah.
a nice living room. It's my living room. I got a really nice view.
I love the floor. It's
Yeah.
like
And nobody.
terrazzo.
I don't know if that's what you call it. I guess tile, some sort.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh,
I got
nice
a nice view.
view. Oh my God. That's the
And sunsets every night.
Vicinity Islands.
That's the Coronado Islands. That's the Al
Coronado.
Capone, famously Al Capone's casino that never opened because Prohibition ended the day it was set to open.
Hmm.
One of the greatest historical ironies. It's just south of the border, so that's why he put it there, because
Yeah.
it didn't have Prohibition in Mexico at that time, but never opened. And now it's believed to be many rumors about what it is now, but I suspect it is some sort of a cartel drug sub manufacturing facility. I don't know. I'm kidding. There is some unusual activity that happens out there. I think it's military. It's partly military, partly cartel, partly other things. But civilians are not allowed on the island,
Hmm.
Mexican or anybody, any nationality. So
So since the trauma we had recently down there, is things
yeah,
settled
so
down?
So it's really strange. Tijuana never saw really any disruption,
Hmm.
which was very unusual, which has me suspicious about what actually happened, because the predictions were, and by all rights, if the sort of situation is what people think the situation is, it should have exploded here, and it should have been pretty ugly actually, and people were really worried, including myself, about
Yeah.
what was going to happen. But it was completely calm. There was like nothing. It was like nothing changed. Nothing happened. So now I start to thinking to myself, did they really kill this guy? Like, or did they just say they did? Was there really an attack? Like, if you understand anything about how the cartels work and the structures and things and the way these things happen, it should have been a problem here. There should have been a problem here, and there wasn't. So I don't know. I'm just speculating wildly. And like I don't really know anything. Everything I know about this stuff is from listening to people or reading, or just listening to people in the neighborhood or different things. I'm no expert.
Yeah, I'm listening to people too. conversation with a woman who I've known before, and we have been out of touch for about 10 years. But
Yeah.
she's Jewish and African American and extremely Zionist, which I
Is
kind
she?
of like took me
So,
back a little.
Hold on. An African American woman who's a Zionist. Like he's
Yeah,
actually like, wow,
very. I mean,
interesting,
she's like, you
interesting.
know, and
How does
I
that
was
happen?
like, hmm?
How does that happen? Like, what's her family history? That's interesting. Very interesting.
I haven't got the whole picture actually. We don't know. We haven't
Yeah,
known. We've been very friendly, but she's very, very smart and
yeah.
good to talk to. But her perspectives are quite different than my own perspectives have
In
been.
what's in
But
what
she's
way?
also backing him up with an awful lot of quote information,
Right.
which I may not
Okay.
have access to, and she
What
does.
she
But
does.
she
Okay.
has
So
a
she has.
brother who was a journalist who went right into the Palestinian situation in Israel.
Right.
And
And
so
so
he's
and
been on the
yeah.
ground, and she has his perspective, and I don't
Mhm.
have that.
And what is
I
that
don't know,
perspective
man.
saying?
The
It's
whole
saying that they're
thing
not
about
actually.
this war, and are we trying to bring about the end times? Apparently, some senators are along those lines right now, or some Congress people.
Well,
Thinking
there was military.
right
There was a
now,
number. There was a huge number of military people that complained to their superior
right?
officers that they had been told by their superiors
Exactly.
that was what we were doing. This was actually a holy war, and that we're trying to
Mm,
start Armageddon here.
right.
This is a, so and of course they complained, and then it
Well,
was and then
yeah,
the
just
Guardian.
and as they should, and we need
Yes.
to sort of like there's no way to stamp it out. Is my thing. If
Yeah.
we're never going to
What's
stamp
coming from the top? Clearly, it's not coming from those guys. It's coming from the. It's got to be coming from the very top, or else it wouldn't trickle down like that. I just,
you wouldn't feel
or at
comfortable
least,
saying. You would think,
yeah, or
right?
exactly correct.
They
Or
are.
at least supported by the people at the very top. So even if it's not outright said, so
Well,
if they're
it's kind of like the
right.
thing about abuse in the military too, of the female soldiers in particular.
Yeah,
But not
yeah.
not that it didn't extend to male soldiers too, but that kind of
Excuse me.
abuse and such that got outed for a while and was really supported and by and
So
it goes on and on. Right? I
you
could
see
go.
that boat on the beach right down there? Hell, sorry
Yeah,
to
I'm
interrupt you.
looking at the.
But you see that boat down there on the beach?
Yep, I see black thing.
Uh, it's hard to see. It's a small boat. It's in the middle of the beach, and there shouldn't be a boat there. Obviously, there's not a dock there.
Oh,
There's
the
no
white
landing of
thing.
boats. Yeah, that white thing. That's actually a
Got
boat
it. Got it.
that actually came around about a month ago now.
Oh,
My wife actually saw what happened. They were out here. It was a really bad. The weather was really terrible, really ugly day,
I got you.
and they were out there. And they should not have been out there. You're not supposed to be out here in a boat. It's really dangerous currents, and it's just a really dangerous area to be out in boats. But they were out there, and they actually capsized. It flipped over. There were two people in it. When it came back, when it righted itself, the people were gone. And then, like I don't know, an hour later, the boat showed up on the beach. And so no one knows what happened to the people. And I've not
Still
heard.
missing?
They're still missing, as far as I know. They saw it's here. It's unusual. This is not a normal necessarily area or neighborhood. And so because everybody people are scared to go anywhere near the boat, but rightly so, because nobody knows who owns it, and nobody knows what the story is with it. And so it's been sitting there basically untouched for about a
Hmm.
month now. And I
You
don't
haven't
anticipate
walked
it's going to go
down
anywhere.
to it?
I don't know.
Is
I was the first one at the scene actually when it came up on shore because I was worried that people might still be alive. So I went down there actually to make sure there was nobody that needed help. Also did not get on the boat, and I wouldn't do it in a million years because you just here you're in a spot where there's just many things happening that you don't want to be involved in. so yeah. And I understand why people are scared to touch it and go down there because if the wrong people see you doing that and they say the wrong thing to the right person or whoever, it's like it's not a good. It's not gonna have a good ending probably for you. So I don't know. I wrote that story. I don't know if you read my story about the neighborhood here and how I feel safe here. It's the safest place I've ever lived. I really like it.
right,
I
right.
wouldn't hesitate to raise a kid here. I walk the streets at night alone with the dogs, whatever, and I have no fear. At the same time, in the past 6 months, we've had I think 5 killings, execution style killings in the neighborhood. 2 of our gate security guards were murdered, point blank range, and then right down the street from me there was a killing. 3 people were killed. Again, military style execution. I was you know professional hit jobs basically by professionals in every case. And
Hmm.
so people say, well, how can you possibly feel safe? Well, that's exactly why I feel safe because they're professional hit jobs by professionals. And they're for a reason. Those kinds of people don't just go around killing people for no reason, which happens in the U.S. all the time. They're not breaking
Right.
into houses. These are not break-ins. Nothing was stolen. These are not. It's not about that. This is about these
It's
people that
just a
fucked up.
job. Just a job,
They did
man.
something. Yeah, they did something wrong. And these people that do these jobs, a lot of these cartel guys, people don't realize are ex-military, ex-police, So they
Mhm.
have training. They know how they have intelligence on the ground. They don't do an operation without knowing what the situation is on the ground before, during, and after the operation. They will go out of their way to make sure there's no one else involved. I mean, these things happen so
No
fast, and
collateral damage.
you don't hear a thing, and it's intentional because if there's collateral damage, then all of a sudden there's questions get asked, and people don't move here, and you have to have normal people living here, or it starts to look real suspicious. So it has to be a friendly, welcoming neighborhood for the majority, and it's a really weird place to live, but very safe for if you're not involved in crime, which I'm not. So, and that's great. And it's a whole difference between organized crime
What do you
and
say?
disorganized crime, where you can be a victim anytime, anywhere in a society with disorganized crime because you don't ever know what's going to happen at any time, and you don't
Well,
have that
that's
here in
true.
Mexico
That's true. The
because
things we have to worry about are largely getting shanked for
yeah,
what change
right,
law.
for no reason, but for no reason. Yeah, or robbery or those street robberies don't happen here.
Yeah, when
Not in
people
this neighborhood, and usually not in Mexico, because what happens is those people get their fingers cut off and mailed home to their parents or whatever. It's like you can't. There's nothing that happens that is not under the direct control or order of the people that control things, and that kind of crime is very disruptive to the economy and to people's lives, and it's not good for their business. So they don't encourage it. In fact, they very actively dissuade it in a very brutal way, and then, so it's not. It's like
it's
it's not ideal.
kind of like Gross Point Blank. You've seen that, right?
I've not seen that movie. I have not, but I
You need to
remember.
see it. It's good. It's worth the time. I
Yeah,
won't spoil it for you then. How about Pulp Fiction then?
seen that one. Yep, I've seen that one.
Those guys
Yep.
weren't very professional, though. I'm sorry, Jules
Yeah,
and
they were.
Clint. Yeah,
No,
they were kind of
they were not.
suckers.
This is not, the cartels are nothing like that. Really, they are
No,
not.
it
At
was
least,
just
and that's very. I
hardcore.
hate to say that you cannot generalize because
No,
they're all different, and even
and I
within them,
don't usually see that stuff that has that kind of thing in it anyway. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't think about these kinds of issues hardly at
yeah.
all.
People,
And
most
if
people
they
don't.
are occurring around me, I'm not aware. We
Yep,
do have
and
some
that's
degree of street crime, like you said, but very rarely do I hear about anybody suffering it from
yeah, yeah.
in
I've
this
never.
local
And
area anyway. I guess if
yeah,
I've been to the wrong places, now they've got a curfew, actually for the young people. Um,
huh,
they got to be off the streets by something like 11 o'clock at night on
okay,
each street corridor, and the National Guard's patrolling.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for the National Guard, particularly the one who got shot and killed.
So they're still patrol. This is in D.C. you're talking about.
Yeah, we still
You
have
still have National
National
Guard.
Guard on the
Really?
streets.
Why? What's the justification? What are they?
They pick up trash and stuff.
But what is the? Why is the government saying that they have these troops deployed there? I mean,
Well, it's
is there?
largely to maintain order in this crime-ridden city where I'm running stoplights left, right, and center.
But there's not. Is it really a crime in the city? Is it
Well,
really
that's
like that?
the kind of crime I see. Actually, is me running through a red
so, so in other words,
committing walking
So really, there's
against
no
the light,
justification for it.
jaywalking. I do a lot of jaywalking.
And what's
I
wrong with
know
the regular police? The regular police cannot enforce order. Why do they need the National Guard? I don't understand.
I think it's more like Trump likes military presence. He likes to
Yeah,
feel powerful. It's like
yeah,
GI
yeah.
Joes to him, I think.
So they're not really
As near
needed.
as I
In
can
other
tell.
words, that's
I
not
mean,
really.
I don't think it's sort of needed. I don't think it was ever needed. I think it
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
good political statement, a way of sort of like,
Right,
I'm in
right.
charge here. I'm the decider. This
Of DC,
imperial
yeah.
presidency kind of feel that
Right.
we have allowed to happen by dint of, being like frogs in the boiling water since the Nixon administration or further back. I mean,
Yeah,
Kent
I
State
guess.
happened in 1970 when we had
Yeah.
those four students shot in Ohio by the National Guard.
That
I
seems
mean,
like
it's kind of
child's play.
injustice for them.
That's 4 people killed is like a normal daily routine
Right.
now.
No, I understand. And when it comes down to it, we got a lot of killing going on right now over in the Gulf. And
Yeah.
when it comes right down to it, I've got this distance I take on it where everything is Baba's will.
You like
How
this
am I
Baba guy?
going to
I don't
decide?
even know who Baba is. Who the hell? You always posting about this dude
I
Baba.
love Mayor
He's gotta be.
Baba, man.
I
I,
have no idea who
he
that
was
is.
like the guru for Pete Townsend too, for that matter.
Pete
A lot
Townsend
of
of
the
the Who.
bases. Yeah,
So is
really.
so Guru. So what is the faith tradition we're talking about here? Like Hinduism,
Well, it isn't one
Guruism.
really. It's
There isn't.
called
It isn't one.
it's it's his followers are called Baba lovers. And
Baba.
you know the old Bobby McFerrin song, "Don't Worry, Be Happy."
Yes, yes, I do. Yes,
That's Baba.
he
That's
wrote the
comes
song.
right
Oh, that's
from
how he is.
Baba.
Okay,
He said, "Don't
I
worry,
see.
be happy,"
I see.
and everything is it's all just
Gonna be all right.
illusion, right? And
Everything's gonna be all
there's
right. I
only
gotcha.
one thing, and that is Baba.
Yeah.
Baba is infinite. Basically, he believed, or he was believed to be by his followers anyway, like the
Uh,
incarnation of the Gnostic monad,
okay.
which is
And
primarily,
how?
you know,
And was he is
field
he
of
from the U.S.? Where is he from? Like India or something? Or
Pune, India is where he was born to
yeah, okay. So
Zoroastrian parents.
okay,
Okay.
so this comes out of
He's
that
had a
Zoroastrian tradition.
Zoroastrianism.
Yeah,
His
I know.
father went on a spiritual quest and fasted and walked in the desert for like 30 days or for however much, I don't know. And
Mm,
finally collapsed. And he had a dream in which he was told that what you're seeking will be delivered to you through your son. So he
I
went and
see.
got married and had kids.
Hmm,
And one of them was Mayor Baba, who at 19 years old was attracted to and had been, sort of paying attention to this old Mohammedan woman who was sitting under a neem tree, and her name was Hazrat Babajan, and supposedly was about 120. And she
mhm.
kissed him on the forehead when he was 19 years old, which knocked him into a state of like infinite bliss, and he didn't like out of the world. He wouldn't eat,
Why
he
does this
wouldn't
shit never happen to me?
drink,
I feel like that
wouldn't
never happens to
sleep,
me.
he wouldn't eat.
People are getting kissed on the
I
forehead
know.
and knocked into another world. I just like go to the grocery store and somebody bumps me in the shoulder and I get pissed off, and that's the best thing that happens to me.
Well, you might have an opportunity to
What is it?
experience
I
a
need some
different
mystical
experience.
experience.
All right.
I
So
know. How
nine
come that
months
never happens?
later, he's out wandering to these different perfect masters he's found in the Indian area.
They
There's
got a shit of
they,
over there. Yeah, these
a lot
so-called
of people
so-called
follow
gurus.
Sai
Yes.
Baba, right? Sai Baba of
Yeah.
Shirdi, not Sai Baba, the Satya Sai Baba. That's
Yeah. I
later.
have no idea what you're talking about. Half these
Anyway,
words I don't know what you're saying.
well,
But
you can look these up. They're in Wikipedia. It's easy findings, and I
yes.
will share them with you.
Yes.
But I'm
Yes.
kind of fascinated by all this because I'm kind of always a skeptic. But when I was
So
in college, the director of religious life, who was our amnesty sponsor and our waging peace sponsor for our extra
academic liberal. That's
activities,
what he
right?
was.
He he had been in Baba's circle as a
Yes.
child, so he actually
Okay.
knew Mayor Baba personally. And when Pete
Mayor? Is
Townsend
it
came
mayor?
through
When you
on
say mayor,
tour,
is he a mayor? Wait, is he a mayor?
Meher, which means
Okay.
compassionate,
Not
and
mayor
Baba
as in
is
like mayor of
father.
a city. I got it. I
So
got it.
he
Like
was
Mayor
given the
Giuliani.
name Compassionate
Right.
Father. Got it?
Compassionate father. Okay. I see. I
Compassionate.
see. And
So
he was seems like a
when,
pretty compassionate guy.
when
He was
Charles
compassionate.
Sands was the director of religious life, of course, I was there, and he would tell us a little bit about his experiences with Mayor Baba.
I
Mayor
see.
Baba had a spiritual center established in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. There's also a center in California, not far from where you are, I
So,
expect, closer to me anyway. And
yeah.
so he's kind of this figure that's been running in history in the background for a lot of people, but it's very front and center in all the Who's music. You listen
Yeah.
to The Seeker or Bargain or the
I
rock
don't get
opera
very.
Tommy.
I just don't see. I don't see the Who as being all mystical, kind of. But I guess I
Well,
had no idea.
check it, listen closely.
I might have to do that.
My
I
Love
never
Opened the
really have.
Door by Pete Townsend, for instance. You know that song.
I probably do. I
Just about
probably
everyone
put on an
does.
elevator. Probably been in some elevator somewhere I've been in,
I'm sure. That's all I've been looking
or
for.
grocery store,
And
or grocery
then
store.
the Bargain is the song of like the is from
Okay.
Who's Next? Baba O'Reilly. Baba
Uh,
O'Reilly is about the Minneapolis composer Riley. O'Reilly. Was it
oh,
Tim
so it's not Bill
Riley?
Riley. Bill O'Reilly's brother. Not Bill
No,
O'Reilly's brother.
not O'Reilly. It's just Riley.
I got you.
Anyway, but Baba O'Reilly, the title comes from Mayor Baba, right? And
So,
Teenage Wasteland, right? Right.
yeah.
That's the lyric we all remember, and a
Yeah.
lot of people tune is
I
called
can't.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the musical Tommy is all about the idea of Mario Baba, right?
It is. Okay.
And
I
when
didn't know
you
that.
listen to the
That was about a
lyrics,
kid named Tommy. That was about a kid named Tommy. I've
a
never seen it. So.
blind, deaf, and dumb kid who plays a mean pinball. It's all
Right.
cause
Right.
and effect, right? Cause and effect.
Uh, so he did.
So
Baba did not play pinball himself.
he played marbles quite a bit, and
Marbles.
he
I
also
see.
was very good at cricket.
I see.
So
That's a very
everybody
Indian
wanted
sport.
Baba to be on the cricket team, but he
Yeah.
didn't speak. This was the key thing about him. He did not speak from
Okay.
like 1925, I think, to 1969 when he dropped the
Yeah.
body.
I went through a period like that myself, but
Not speaking.
yeah, I
Hard to
just got
believe.
real quiet, really silent for a long time.
Yeah,
They called me
I would
Silent
bet.
Dan. I had a nickname actually. People called me Silent Dan. They never said
Yeah,
anything.
Island Dan. I like it.
I never stopped.
But actually,
But
the thing is, we're all a bit of the dying spirit. have that within us is the idea. I think of the Gnostic, kind of idea defined within that every
Yeah,
person carries, and when people say namaste to you and things like that, like the God
yeah.
in me recognizes the God in you.
All right, man. I actually gotta
In
go.
my
Hal,
theory, I'll tell you
we've
this
been.
one
I
thing.
gotta go. I
That's
gotta
just
go. And
one.
then but I
One
gotta say the
second.
last thing. I have to have the last word. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
And then
I'll give
I
you
have to
the
get my
last
last word.
word right after this one, which is
Okay.
that I am a believer in Gnostic theism and that I know gods and goddesses exist as concepts in our minds. I'm not sure if they exist elsewhere, so take me with a grain of salt when I tell you my stories. Go ahead, your last
So,
word.
and when you say Gnostic, that's Gnostic with a G, the Gnostic,
Yeah,
correct?
roasted.
So this is. I just want to consider this. If you've
Yep.
ever been in a grocery store, and you go to grocery stores all the time, right? Go into a grocery store that's not playing music, and see exactly how creepy it is. It will really blow your mind.
Right.
Anyway, it's, it's the weirdest thing, man, and it's
Oh,
so
yeah, you're
strange
right.
because you wouldn't think it's just like any other space, right? Why would it be so creepy for there not be no music? But if you're in a grocery store and they ever turn the music off, and maybe it's never happened to you, and it's only happened to me maybe twice,
I'm
but
going to go to
this,
street. I don't think street sells music.
it's crazy. It's the craziest phenomenon. It feels like you're in a Stephen King movie, like right away, like instantly, and everyone's all evil, and everyone's trying to get out to get you, and it's like all this paranoia sets in. It's really, at least for me, maybe I'm an outlier. Anyways, if anyone out there is listening and you go to a grocery store and the music turns off, get ready to be freaked out. So, all
I think we
right,
lost
good talking to
everybody,
you.
by the way.
Yeah, probably did. I'm sure we did. All right, I'll see you. Good talking to you, man. Take care.
Yeah,
We'll talk
well,
again
we'll
soon.
find out if this goes anywhere. Have fun.
Won't get to see the sunset, but it's getting there. It's close to sunset. All right, we'll see you. Later, man.
Beautiful.
Later.
Out here.
I can figure out how to do this
End
thing.
live
Turn it
video.
off.